see Dad and I see Robert. That's who I see. Y'all are early. I am early. I am like 5 minutes early. Hi. How are you? What's been going on? What's going on, guys? We're going to do Soul Sanctuary here shortly. Dad, do you want to come on camera and do my show with me?
Okay, come on, babe.
You're welcome to. Hi, so go to YouTube. Once you go to YouTube, look for High Tarot, look for HAITAROT, and then when you get, you'll see me, and then when you see me, you click on the like and the, well, I think there's a like and a subscribe that you can do for the channel, for the YouTube channel. Hi, Jessica. Hi, it's nice to see you. I'm so glad you could join. Hey, pop a question if you have one. I've been watching Iyanla for like 2 hours. She's been doing a live, which has been absolutely amazing. And of course, she's talking about us focusing on those things we can control, which is her beautiful gift to the world. And I'm so glad that I am a disciple. I am a disciple of hers. And if loving her is wrong, I shall never be right. I don't mind. People have told me that I remind them of her, and I hope that my work does, because I don't mind being a broke Iyanla or a fat Rihanna. I was just telling my husband that. I've heard both of those things. I'll be both of them. Listen, there's second place and there's second place. I don't mind. But we're going to do Soul Sanctuary. It was due at 8. So I'm a couple of hours late. Hours late. How do you get to be hours late? Well, the reason is because I was watching Iyanla and I was completely transfixed on how she was talking about the only way that things could happen is if I can't say it the way she was saying it, but she was explaining that the only way that something happens is if it's in your psyche, like it's a part of us. So when we look at someone, someone's life being choked out of them, we have to think about where in our life is our life being choked out of us. And the way she's much more eloquent with it than I am, and she has so much patience and compassion. Somebody came in there because she was asking everybody to share their feelings, and she explained that feelings only have one word. If it has more than one word, it's a thought, not a feeling. I didn't know that. So that's going to be the next 17 posts that I do about how if it's a feeling, it has one word. And if it's a thought, it has more than one word. Because people were saying, I feel like, and they were saying sentences. And she said, no, that's not a feeling. That's a thought, baby. And she was so sweet about the way she said it. But feelings, like one of the things she said she felt is grief. And that's such a big one. That's such a good way to put it. I feel grief as well. Anyway, I could sit here and fillet Iyanla until the cows come home, because I like her a lot. I went to see her while we're waiting for the show to start. Waiting a couple more minutes. I'm going to start right at 9. I'll write at 11. 2 more minutes. I saw her live in Wilmington. She came to a place called Waterfall, which is a really beautiful facility. One of the best looking places in Claymont, which is where it is, which is right outside of Wilmington. Anyway, in Delaware. Iyanla Van Zant came and she spoke, and my then boyfriend took me to go see her because he knows how to check all the boxes. He was trying to ensure I wasn't going to go anywhere, and after that, I didn't go anywhere. I'm still here. It's the same dude. But we saw her live, and to be in the same energy of her and so many people trying to heal at the same time, it was really beautiful. I'll share with you another experience. I think I've talked about this on my show before, and because I think we just passed Eid Mubarak. Didn't Eid Mubarak just happen? And anybody who's Islamic. Well, one year, when I was studying Islam, my sister and I, my oldest sister, the one who died, we went to the prison, because that's where our boyfriends were. We went to the prison and took food to celebrate Eid Mubarak. And so it was she and I. She is 7 years older than me. And at the time, hi Yates, and at the time I was about 20 years old. So she was 27. So we went and to celebrate Eid Mubarak at the local jail, which is called Gander Hill in Wilmington. And so it was us and a room of no less than 30, mostly Spanish and black men. It was all, and they were all prisoners. We were inside the jail. We were inside of a room inside the jail, like a community room in the jail. And so there's like, it had to be 30 dudes. And I guess there were security guards. I don't remember them. And we did Salat together. So Salat is the prayer that Muslims do 5 times a day. And there's different positions that you go through when you do Salat. And part of being Islamic is learning Salat in Arabic is like a big deal. And so I still remember some of it. Bismillah, Rahman, Rahim, Alhamdulillah. You just do the whole thing. I don't remember most of it. But one of the big words in Islam is Bismillah, which means if God wills it, which I think is beautiful. I think everybody should have a word that means if God wills it, because it's kind of beautiful. It kind of acknowledges our frailty. Yeah? Is that what I mean to say? I think that's what I mean to say. Anyway, my point about bringing up that story is we were in this room full of, let's just say 30 because the number is bothering me. 30 people who were in jail for whatever reason that they were there. And when we prayed together, the energy was absolutely palpable. So it's all these people that are hoping to be forgiven and they're praying to a deity. What a beautiful feeling. Man, I'll never forget that. And it just showed me how powerful prayer is and a unified intention is, and how when people get together, the power that they wield is amazing. And you know, one of the biggest parts of that story is that they were all dudes. I was in Gander Hills for dudes, for guys. Right? So it was all this male energy, but it was controlled. And it's just one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Power that is controlled is beautiful. That's why those pictures of lionesses when they're about to pounce, I think they're so gorgeous because we're looking at controlled power. Do you know what I mean? Even guns. I think that the effectiveness of a gun and the reason why what it does is so spectacular is because it's controlled power. All this power in this one small space, when it shoots forward, that's just physics. Yeah, it's going to rip through whatever it comes to, right? And so I think that as something about controlled power, as people, we respect it because we know it's a choice to control your power or not, right? So let's think about what it looks like when we're looking at uncontrolled power. Give me an example of what you think uncontrolled power looks like. You know that Soul Sanctuary is an interactive show. So what I have at least 10 souls paying attention to me right now. What does uncontrolled power look like? What's an example? What does uncontrolled power look like? Oh, wait. I know it's like there's like a delay or something. Also, Facebook might be deleting and editing what I'm saying because it's all about empowerment and not being crazy with what's going on right now. Outrage is, yes, that can be uncontrolled power. Yes, yeah. I think uncontrolled power looks like acting out. The most general term I could use is acting out. So if you see someone who is acting out, an anime character hulking out, yes, Yates, we're on the exact same page. We're saying the exact same thing. So when Hulk happened, it was when Brenner, the dude before he's Hulk. Don't hang me. Don't take away my nerd cred. But the dude before he's Hulk, when he would get angry and have uncontrolled power, he turned into this big beast, right? That's uncontrolled power. That's a great one. Good job, Yates. You're always on the same page as me. All right. And outrage. What else? What does uncontrolled power look like? How about, I don't want to get political, y'all, but seriously, let me just explain. Let me tell it to you this way. You know how much I love my dad. If you've ever listened to me talk for more than 5 minutes, how much I love my dad comes up. I am a huge fan. I have a fantastic dad who's been with me in the most important parts of my life and has carried me over things I didn't think I would make it through. And I will be a mess if I'm ever on the planet without him. Now, if my dad started posting crazy shit on Twitter, I would go over and say, Dad, you're not allowed to put that kind of stuff on Twitter anymore. People are going to think you're nuts. And I don't want people to think that, because you're not nuts and I love you. And even if you are nuts, you weren't for a long time and you raised me to be a beautiful person. So let's just take the keyboard away from you. And he's a big computer guy. It would be hard to get him away from Twitter if I wanted to. But let me explain to you why I would. Because I respect who he is. And I respect what it looks like and what people think of him. I respect, and I want it to be as good as what I think of him. So that's what I would do if my dad just started putting crazy shit up. And he doesn't run, he runs our family, but he doesn't run a corporation anymore. He doesn't run a government anymore. He doesn't do any of that stuff anymore. I just don't want people to think he's nuts because he's typing crazy shit online. I don't want him to be treated that way. You know what I mean? And one of the reasons I don't want him to be treated that way is because when we go out, if people start treating him like that in front of me, they're getting cussed out. And I'm probably getting arrested and shit. You know what I mean? So to save us all that trauma, I would just be like, hey, Dad, we're going to go do something else. We're not going to type every thought that we have online. Just because I can't, we need to present a united front. So if that's how I feel about my dad, how do you think I would feel if my dad was in office? Right? I'd just hire somebody to sit on him and not let him say weird shit. Anyway. Uncontrolled. That was my thought. Yeah, positive. Okay, so that uncontrolled power, we're talking about power. And uncontrolled power and how unattractive it is. It's unattractive. It's unattractive. Here's another idea of uncontrolled power. Like, you know how they say when an animal gets into a corner, it scratches? How much could that animal actually hurt you? Let's say you had a raccoon in your kitchen and you cornered that motherfucker. He could fuck you up real quick, right? And a couple of different moves and you would run out of the room screaming. But he doesn't understand how much power he has. So he sits there and scratches at you. And then, you hit him with something. I don't know. Bad analogy. My point is, uncontrolled power is unattractive. Women, at least ones who are shaped like me. I'm not even going to claim all women. I'll just say ones who have the same opinion as me. From a tribal standpoint or from a family standpoint, we're attracted to whoever can control their power. That's what buck fights are about. When two antler deers, bucks, are fighting, they're fighting to show which one can control their power more. The winner is the one who controls his power more. Not necessarily the bigger one, the one who knows how to control their power. And then the winner goes over the female and does whatever the fuck he wants. There's an example. See, we're just naturally drawn to controlled power. Now, I'm trying to keep it out of the political realm because people get really weird when you start talking about that. So let's look at two characters that are two sides of either power and uncontrolled power. Does Superman do it? No. Maybe in Star Wars. Maybe there's something in Star Wars. Maybe Luke versus Darth Vader. I don't know. I can't think of that right now. Let's do some cards. My brain isn't on that. I'm so jazzed and energetic and hopeful after listening to Iyanla talk about what's going on, guys. And if when you leave here, if you don't feel better after having some cards and talking about our internal shit that we have to deal with, if that doesn't help, I want you to listen. I want you to go back and find Iyanla's speech from today. Because I was in here laughing and crying and guffawing and releasing. And Rachel, you're saying people I don't know. Say somebody else. I'm happy to use your example. I just don't know what the hell it is. Okay. But I appreciate your participating and thank you. Please stay and do more stuff. Okay, so let's look at what energy it would be most helpful for us to embody today. Is that a good question? What energies, let's do a couple. What energies would it be most helpful for us to embody today? Let's see. Oh, you're right, Yates. I feel you. All right, let's see. What energy would it be most helpful to embody? And then if y'all have a question, I'll answer a question. I don't mind doing that. It can be Soul Sanctuary Live Interactive. I'll answer questions. Okay. Let's ground. Let's ground. And then we're going to pull 2 cards. I'll figure out what cards we're going to pull after I ground. I feel like I need to be very responsive to the energy that's going on right now. Okay? So you and I are going to ground. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to breathe in through our nose as slowly and steadily as possible. Like imagine you have to just do it one straight line, as slowly and steadily as possible, and fill our lungs up so much that it moves our chest out. Okay? Starting right now. Breathe in very, very slowly, okay? But completely. Ready? Go. Deep breath in. And then blow out slowly. This time when you do it, I want you to concentrate on relaxing. Concentrate as if you're like inner space. This little tiny spaceship, you can go through your body and find the most tense place and release it as we exhale. Every exhale is an opportunity to release. Cassie, my trainer, told me that, and it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. At the time, she was talking about micro whatever fascia. She was trying to release the knot in my back. But the statement's true no matter what she's talking about. Every exhale is an opportunity to release. Let's remember that. And this time when we breathe in deeply, 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 and we're going to hold it for 2 seconds so it has time to catch all the shit that needs to get out of us. All right? So do deep breath in with me. Deep breath in. Ready? Here we go. In. Hold it for the count of 1, 2. Breathe it out slowly. Release. Release everything that's ready to go. Isn't that a statement? One more time. Deep breath in. And blow it out slowly and completely. The most complete exhale you've had all day. Release your shoulders. Exhale. Feel grounded. Feel connected to me. I'm here only to talk to you. I'm here only to pay attention to you right now. Okay? And try to get us to a better place so we can get out here and raise these babies. These babies don't need to see us all stressed the fuck out. That's not going to help them. Okay. We're going to pull 2 cards for what energy would it be most helpful for us to embody, because we're going to come from a place of help today. Okay, here's 1. And then 2. Let's see what the cards say, guys. They're both inverted, so it looks like we're going to be doing internal work, which means we're not going to be out all up in somebody else's face. It's going to be our work. The first card is the Hierophant. So it is time at this time. It's most helpful for us to be the student. If you don't know what this card looks like, look it up on Google or go to. I'm sure I've posted it at some point. The Hierophant is the 5 in the Major Arcana. So if you have tarot cards, number 5 is Hierophant. This is a Taurus card, which I don't mind because I'm a Taurus. And Taurus is what? That earth energy. That steady earth energy. If it was up to me to make everybody in the nation do exactly what I want them to do right now in this moment, I would ask all of the earth signs to ground. That's the first thing I would do. Because the sign that most easily grounds and stays grounded and stays steady is those earth signs. That's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We can hold shit the fuck down. That's what we do. To a fault. We hold shit down so well that sometimes we're called stubborn because we don't know how to let go of it. We hold down. So this card, when I asked what energy would be most helpful for us to embody right now, I got an inverted Taurus kind of card, an inverted Hierophant, which means we have to hold it down. We have to stay grounded. Everybody who's not listening to me and who won't watch this video, they can go fuck off and fly off the handle if they want to. Today, what we need to do is stay grounded. We have to stay grounded. Keep your head. Read that poem, Invictus. My dad always quotes it to me, and it's always appropriate. Invictus. Keep your head. When everybody else is going crazy, keep your head. You know why you need to keep your head? Because who's looking at your babies? Right. Now, that's actively. Passively, what energy do we need? Passively, it's inverted victory. Inverted victory. What the fuck is an inverted victory? Does that mean learning from our failure? Learning from how it failed. There's an African proverb that says, don't look where you fell, look where you tripped. Where did we trip? Where did we trip? How did a motherfucker stand there with his hands in his pocket while another motherfucker was being killed? And saying at the time, hey, you're killing me. How did somebody stand there and watch that? Where did that get broken? That was broken a long time ago. That was broken a long time ago. We got to go back and fix it back there. What can we learn? We are not winning right now. We're in a position where there's a whole lot of imbalance and a whole lot of failure. And there's a lot of blame. And there's a lot of shame. And there's a lot of vitriol and violence, but that's not really where healing happens, is it? So, what else? What else can we learn from the failure? What happened? How did we get here? When you're getting ready to go through a divorce, which I've done in my lifetime, you look back and say, how the hell did I get here? When I was standing at the altar, I certainly didn't mean to be signing papers and changing my motherfucking name back. How did I get here? Where did it start? And you know, by the time you get to divorce, the problem didn't start yesterday. It's been years. By the time divorce shows up, you've been fighting for a long time, or you've had this problem for a long time, or your boundaries have been crossed for a long time. By the time you have a divorce, this was before I had kids. I can't even imagine how long you're dealing with shit when you're ready to divorce once you have kids. My parents went through it. They were together 16 years, so I guess that's how. I lasted 6 without kids. They lasted 16 with kids. There was 3 of us. Damn, divorce is terrible, right? But when that happens, I bet both of my parents went through and said, now where did that happen? They didn't plan on not being together. They have 3 beautiful daughters. Why the hell would they break up? Because some boundary was crossed. You know what I mean? Their relationship started to peel away at some point. And they were in love. My Aunt Darce told me that my dad used to play guitar and walk around Dell State campus playing guitar and writing fucking songs for my mom. They were in love, like really in love. What happened? Well, my point is, when they went to go figure out what happened, they couldn't start at divorce. They had to go back to the beginning and figure out where along the way did these boundaries get crossed and how do we end up where we are. And that's what I'm saying we have to do as a country, as a community, as a family. Y'all are my family as much as I'm yours, right? Where did the problem start? And, you know, I gotta say, I'm sure that it's not helped by having our echo chambers on Facebook. Like when we say some ridiculous, strong opinion and 7 motherfuckers agree with us. That's not helpful. That's not helpful in these streets. That's not helpful for healing. It's helpful for your ego, right? But it's not helpful for healing. So, I think the most important work that we can do right now is to mind our own energy. If you're offended by something, that means it's because it's going on inside of you. If you're offended by the way that somebody's being treated, it's because you treat yourself that way on some level, and you have to find it. I'm not saying that eloquently. Iyanla says that eloquently. Go watch her video. She might still be on. She said she was going to stay on all day. And as a matter of fact, I'm hurrying this shit up so I can go back and listen to more of what she said, because I am her undoubted disciple. I will follow her and do whatever she says over whatever anybody else says ever, anytime, because she's healed me. And I go with what works. I know it's a whole lot of newfangled shit in the world, you know what I mean? But I have listened to Iyanla and TD Jakes and Brian Tracy and Tim Robbins, and they have Tolle. What's the guy's name? Eckhart Tolle, whatever that dude is. I've read his books, and then the one with the guy who writes The Seed, John Grisham. Those are people who have helped me. Who did I say? I said Iyanla Vanzant. Iyanla Vanzant. She wrote In the Meantime. She's that beautiful lady that used to come on Oprah and help heal people. She had Iyanla Heal My Life. She has a couple of shows on OWN right now. Iyanla Vanzant, Brian Tracy, who is a motivational speaker, and he taught me about negative habit patterns. When you say I can't, but I have to. He has beautiful, 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 beautiful videos on that to explain how to get past that. And conditional love. He's really good with conditional love and all kinds of Freudian stuff. Tim Robbins has some cool stuff, but I've been hearing weird stuff about him lately, so I don't know how much of his stuff I'm going to go back and listen to. But I did benefit from it when I did hear it. And Eckhart Tolle, he has The Power of Now, I think. And there it is, Eckhart Tolle, that's his name. I read this whole book. It's called The Present. Is it called The Present? And The Power of Now. Both of those confuse me. I don't know where the present is. I don't understand the power of now. But I read the books a couple of times to try to get there with them, and I never made it. I never made it. Now, I'm always worried about the future, so it's hard for me to, tap into right now. It's happened 2 times that I can remember in my lifetime, and that was directly before giving birth to my first son, and then directly before giving birth to my second son. That's the only time I've ever been able to get present. Isn't that funny? Anyway, go to the people who have helped you before. I mean, if you're stressed and shit. Okay, let's do another closing card. We'll pull a card. We'll figure out an affirmation, and then we'll all go and see if Iyanla's still talking, because she has a much better way to say all of this than me. I'm a complete asshole. She's got compassion and she's got a little bit of maturity on me. And so we can all learn from her. And I don't mind referring you to her because she's just going to say it better. I'm going to say it and not care if your feelings get hurt. She cares. So let's do another card. You want to do a couple more grounding breaths? Let's do that. That sounds right. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Yes, Deepak is beautiful. Beautiful spirit. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Oprah hangs out with too many pedophiles. I can't follow her anymore. Sorry. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. You are the company you keep. Let's see. I'll just pull as many cards as I think we need right now. 1, 2, it feels like 3. 3 feels right? 3, okay. Ooh, they're all up. So we've got a big yes. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, guys, we changed the energy around. We did it. It only takes a little bit of focus. The universe is not complicated. The devil. The very first instruction that we have that we're going to leave with is the devil card. And it doesn't matter if you pay attention or not. I'm going to tell everybody that this card in this position means add fun to whatever you're doing. That you're taking things too seriously. And I'm sure that's true for a lot of us because the media is very concerned with us hearing a certain narrative right now. Pay attention to that shit too. Why is it so important that we're all upset right now? What are you trying to do? You know what I mean? I don't like shit like that. That's why I'm going to stay calm. You're not getting shit past me. I'm nice and calm. I'm going to stay right here. Everybody else can go run off at the head if they want. I'm going to be right here watching everything that's going on, right? Interference. So we have, look at these cards. We have the devil and interference so far. Look at that. Isn't that crazy with what's going on in the world? Look at what energy's here. Y'all don't think tarot's real? The shit. I didn't look at either of these. I just pulled them out. That's what's here. It feels exactly like that, right? Way too serious. And fucking interference. All this distraction. And the last card we have that's upright. Look at that right there. Queen of Cups. Bringing it home to you. Now, if you've had this card in reading for me, you know that in mine, this is the Queen of Cups, by the way, for if you have a deck. In mine, the top and the bottom look exactly the same. Here she is, and here's a reflection. And my Queen of Cups her face is distorted. Her bindi is so big. The light coming from her third eye is so big, you can't even see her face. It doesn't matter what her face looks like because she's not moving with her face. She's moving with her intention, her intuition. Look at. That's the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is about controlling your emotion. Now, I don't know if you've ever, if you have any information about how queens, ruled. Oh, there's an example of uncontrolled power and controlled power. The Red Queen on Alice in Wonderland. Wasn't she nuts? Didn't she go around saying, off with their heads all the time, right? That's uncontrolled power. She was a bitch. There's a bad queen, right? So let's juxtapose that bad queen, the Red Queen, who just wanted to go kill everybody for silly reasons, to the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is all about controlling your emotions. So she would have she would be like Circe, right? She controls, I'm assuming you guys know who Circe is. In Game of Thrones, there's this really powerful queen who was hella manipulative. She was playing chess and having people dance for her like marionettes. She'd be like that. She'd be like a Queen of Cups. She was in control of emotions. She didn't let emotions come in when she had to do some stuff. She was killing her own baby, and I think she was in love with her own brother. She was all kinds of... Emotion didn't come into whatever the hell she was trying to do. She was just strategic and masterful. Anyway. Not having watched the show, I don't know how much you'd understand it, but the point is, when you have a Queen of Cups, it's about controlling your emotion. So let's look at these three. Let's look at what is not in this spread. Those of you who, for whom tarot was boring, I'm sure you've checked out already, but for those who just... Oh, does this match my lips? Almost look. I'm interference today. Let me be your interference today. I'm a pretty cute distraction, I gotta say. Anyway. These cards, there's no bright red, so it's not, there's a little tiny bit in the middle of the interference, but that don't count. There's no bright red, so it's not a big huge passion time. It's not time to be doing stuff with a whole lot of passion, running off at the mouth, cussing people out. Why have we been convinced that fighting with people on Facebook is an actual activity? Do you realize that's mental masturbation? Do you realize that when you get off of fighting with whoever it is that you're fighting with on Facebook, that they fuck off and do whatever the fuck they were going to do before they talk to you, and that you fuck off and do whatever you were going to do before you talk to them, which means there's no exchange of information. Communication hasn't happened, and it's just mental masturbation. Ew! And we can spend all day doing it if we're not careful. What happened to our psyche? I feel I don't know, there's been some dumbing down that's happened. I don't know if it was the microwaves or all the Prozac in the water or what. But we're a little slow now. Aren't people a little bit slow? Compared to our grandparents and shit? When I listen to the kind of stuff that my aunties and my grandma told me that they did all day and what happened all day, I'm I don't think people nowadays will be able to do that. I think we're a little bit slow. We're a little bit slow. Doesn't that piss you off? It pisses me off. Why am I slower than them? I'll tell you a story that has to do with that. I was hired as an admin or a secretary. And I typed 71 words a minute. And I was so proud of myself. I was I'll type 71 words a minute. Because the requirement was 50 words a minute. But I typed 71 words a minute. So I was better than they. And I was quite smug and proud of myself. And, strutting around the office talking about how I type so fast, right? I type faster than anybody in the office. I was the shit. You know what I mean? I type 71 words a minute. And then one day I was talking about Dorothy, and I told her how I type 71 words a minute. And she said, 71. I said, yeah, I'm the shit. And she was like, I type 103 words a minute. And I was like, what? I'm a broke prototype? She and all my aunties on my dad's side type at least 100 words a minute. At least 100. Now, I'm this watered down version of that. Oh, God. I mean, I was faster than anybody in my office. But as far as in my family, I was broke. Quite slow. Get my shit together before I could even talk to those ladies. I don't remember why I started that. But hopefully it made you feel better. When I go back and edit the show, I'll be like, oh, that's what I was talking about. Anyway, I love that story because it reminds me of my auntie, who I love very much and loves me. She is my angel. I'm sure she's right behind me. You'll probably see her. She's probably right there. And that's cool. I think that it might be cool while we're home and we have this, I don't know how much longer we're going to be home, but I thought a really cool thing to do besides finishing your baby books, if you haven't completed your baby books for all the children that exist right now, please make a baby book for them. I think that when I look back and I want to know where I came from and what my parents thought when they were raising me, that it's so cool to go back and see. I walked at 7 months and my sisters named me, and all the cool stuff I know about my history has pulled me out of some dark places, and I think that everybody deserves that. So if you're raising kids, I think that, and if you haven't, I think you should finish your baby books. And then I think it's about trying to get together a beautiful Father's Day gift. I think the best Father's Day gift is like taking the best picture that you have from that year, or maybe from the kid's life, and getting it framed. Because men don't typically do that for themselves. And then they'll have this beautiful picture of them and their kid, or them and you, or whatever significance the male is. But I think that's what I'm going to do from now on Father's Day. I'm always like trying to figure out what to do. And the one year that I gave my dad the framed picture of us, this beautiful picture of us, he really liked it. So that's just going to be my thing. That's what I'm going to do from now on. And now you know. So now you have, and we have like 3 weeks before. So even if you don't have your dad on the plane anymore, you can pick an uncle or a grandparent or a mailman who you know is a father and do it for them. You can even sneak the picture. At this point, we have plenty of time. Go to Target, print that shit out, throw it in a dollar store frame. You're good. You're good. And it's all thoughtful and stuff. Also, you know, my son has a business where we make coffee scrubs that are perfect for Father's Day. So you can order those. We have them in honey almond and I think patchouli and dragon's blood. Those are the scents. So you're welcome to, I can do a shameless plug of my son's products. Where here's one of our, I think it has schmutz on it, but here's one of his type C coffee scrubs. It's called Luxuriate. So that's his business. And my older son has a mobile car washing business. So I'm trying to think of one more business for them to share. And so we'll have like 3 by the time the pandemic is over. Or whatever the fuck this is. I don't know what it is. But yeah. So if the cards we had said that we need to have we need to add levity to everything. See if you can make absolutely everything a game today. Have you not blindfolded one of your family members and tried to see how far they could get in the house? Or how long they could go through their day blindfolded? I think we should like take turns and like give each other 10 minutes. Like blindfold somebody for 10 minutes and see how many of their daily tasks they can get through, and whoever gets the most gets some kind of a prize or something. Like, you gotta find shit to do in the house. You have to sit there complaining about being in the house. What kind of assholes are we that we're complaining about being in the house? I've been watching these bitches. I'm sorry. I've been watching people complain about being in the house for several weeks now. I mean, every once in a way, like every 20 days, it's like, I need to go out in the car all by myself with no children around me. But seriously, if your house sucks that much, make your house not suck. How you gonna tell me? What am I gonna do to help you? I'm over here with my crazy house. You gotta fix your own shit. You know what I mean? Like, we've had time to watch whatever YouTube video there is to fix whatever's wrong with your house at this point. It's been 60 days or some shit. You know what I mean? That's long enough to, I think, become a yoga instructor. How many different courses are there at 60 days? And you're still complaining about the shit you were complaining about on the first day? Maybe you're just a miserable fuck. I'm becoming unkind. It's probably just about time for me to wrap up. I will, after this, because I am now going to shut down my throat chakra for a minute. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Rachel. That's right. That's right. I believe in responsibility psychology. You have to sleep in the bed that you made. You made these jackass children jackasses. You did that shit. And then you sent them to school for 40 hours for some other motherfucker to deal with. Let's make them not assholes. You can do that. You still got time. Oh, God. Well, peace and love. I'm going to go ahead and open up a question and answer form because I feel like doing questions. I feel like interacting, but I'm becoming unkind in real time, so I need to put a buffer of time between me and you. So I'm going to do that by coming off of my live. I'm going to go have me a drink, go outside in the sunshine, ground a little bit, put my feet in the earth, and shove all the toxicity down into that because Mother Earth will take it. She'll be grateful for it. I will offer her the sacrifice of that energy. And then I will come back and answer whatever questions that you guys leave on the question answer session I'll put up. I love each and every one of you as much as I have told you that I love you. I don't lie. And I don't say I love you too, because I don't love you too. I love you anyway. Okay? Bye.